the outbound email configurations, configuring the SCOT, right? Outbound configuration, outbound emails. So outgoing emails, which is from SAP. Outgoing emails mean which is going from SAP. So normally, if you see the outside of the SAP, if you talk about the outside of the SAP, so generally, if you raise any purchase order, or if you done any payment or something, you will get the slip to your mailbox, right? That related server to your email box, you will get the related PDF or the payment slips you will get. Same as like in SAP also here. So suppose in SAP also, suppose we are working in the one of the sales department. Suppose like you are working in a sales department with one of the one pharma company, one of the paracetamol company. So they are running in the SAP. Okay, you are working in the sales department. One paracetamol company running by the SAP, right? You got alert notification that some stocks are falling short, right? Need to be restocked as soon as possible. Then, in that case, you need to create a purchase order, right? Well, because you need to fill the stock. You need to fill the stock with that pharmaceutical company, right? So you raised a request. So then you raised a purchase order. Then the order sent directly to the vendors. This is where SCOT comes into the play, right? So in the system, you raised a request, right? The system you raised a request. Immediately that the SCOT via SCOT, whatever the configuration we are doing. So in the SCOT configuration, the purchase order. So it will send the purchase order via email to the vendors automatically, where it is being configured in the SAP environment here, right? So SCOT is the one of the transaction code in SAP where we will do the all the administration work. Where we will do the all the administration work, like so sending the emails, messages, mailbox, fax, everything we will configure in the SCOT transaction code here, right? So here, what exactly we are doing here? Like one of the salesperson in the pharmaceutical company, the pharmaceutical company is running. So he suspect that there is a sales is short, sales are stock, like the like the stock, like some stocks are falling a short here, need to be restocked as soon as possible. In that case, the salesperson will create a one purchase order, he will create in SAP system. So immediately, whenever he create immediately, as per this configuration, the person, the receiver, the vendors will receive the emails from the SAP saying that this is the request. So we need to fill the stock, something like that. So he will do the all kind of things here. Here to configure this SCOT configuration here, outbound emails, so everything. So we need to use the SCOT transaction code here, SCOT transaction code in SAP systems here, SCOT transaction code here, SCOT transaction code here. So here we need to configure the mailbox server. Mailbox server we have to configure it here. So here initially, when you build the system, it is the empty status here, right? So to perform this configuration, what we have to do here to perform this configuration, the first step is here. So the first step is here. So the mail server you required. So we need mail server. Every company there is a mail server to receive the emails, right? The mail server and our IP addresses you required here. And also you require the port support number here, right? SMTP port number here. SMTP port number you required. Usually this is the 25 or 26 normally. This is a standard port number for the mail server. That is the common port number. Only thing is you need the mail server you required. Mail server means the company will purchase that mail server or whatever it may be. You need the mail server is required here. Then check the connectivity to the mail server. Everything is working or not. Okay, everything is working. That is fine. Then what we can do here, then so in RJ10, there is a SMTP port. SMTP port should be active in RJ10. Means in RJ10 and SMICM, the port should be configured. The main thing is that the port should be configured here. The port should be configured here. The ports we have to configure that one here, right? SMTP port we have to enable it. Then we need to check the SMICM as well. The port is active or not. We need to check that button as well. Then after that, so log into the SCOT transaction code. Log into the SCOT transaction code. Then enable the SMTP node. SMTP node. So while enabling the SMTP node, it will ask the mailbox servers and email addresses, the internet or email addresses, all the addresses what you want to send it here. We can perform the configuration here. Okay, perform the configuration. So that is the one thing here. Once it is saved here, then there is a job. So configure the job as well here. There is a SCOT job. We have to, so SAP connect job. That's we will call it as the SAP connect job. SAP connect job for sending the emails here. So this kind of configuration, so we have to perform it here. Then in SICF, there is a service. SICF, there is a service. So activate SCP connect service as well here. SAP, there is a connect service you need to activate as well here. So once you done it here, so then we can perform the testing by sending the new messages and everything. We can perform the testing and everything. We can perform it here, right? So that is what we have to do it in the systems here, right? The first of all, the port should be active SMICM. Then enable the SMTP node, and there is a default domain configuration. Sometimes this may be required. Sometimes this may be required here. Default domain configuration here. So this is the SCOT transaction code. So here, if you go to the SMICM, there is a port. SMTP port should be active. Yes, the port is active here, right? So then if you go to the RG10, so the parameters related RG10 here. So if you go to the instance profile display here, there is a parameter for the SMTP that should be active status here. There is a parameter for the SMTP that should be active status here. SMTP parameter should be active status here, right? That is also active here, right? So then go to the SCOT transaction code here. In the settings tab, there is a default domain here. So mycompany.com or something like that, we can configure it here, right? Whatever the company you have, ABC company at the rate of mycompany.com. So star.mycompany.com or something like that, whatever you have, right? So star at the rate of, so your gmail.com or google.com or facebook.com, whatever the company you have, so that you can configure it here, right? So just you can configure it a default domain. But because whatever the domain you have configured, so with the domain, so will be helpful to identify the recipients and everything here, right? Once you've done it here, then we have to activate the node here. There is a activation node is there here. Create the node here. Yeah, the node name is called the SMTP node. This is the mail server, mail server. So SMTP node, you can configure it here, right? What is a mailbox server here? So this is the mandatory. Normally this we will get from the, so our IT team, IT department. So because normally they will work on the mail server configurations, all those things. So IT department. So the mail server configuration will be performed by the, so they will provide the mail server. Suppose like, so Gmail, suppose like gmail.smtp.com. Suppose example I given like here, port number 25. So normal port number. Click on OK. What type of node and internet or pager or fax? So internet addresses. So what type of addresses area you want to transfer? So at the rate of, so gmail.com, all the google.com, all the Facebook email IDs. So whatever you made, Yahoo email ID. So which email IDs you want to send it here? Sir, we don't have to maintain the all one by one here. So I maintain the star. Star means all. Star means all the addresses, all the addresses here. It will send it to the all the addresses. It will send the emails here, right? So here the maximum waiting time hours to reattempt the procedure. In case of mail failed, how many minutes you want to reattempt the procedure here? So every 5 minutes here, like that. You have configured the thing as well here. So mailbox server you have activated here. Then you can see the settings here. Settings means whatever you have configured, those are the settings here. The main thing is here, send jobs here, job configuration here. So SMTP job configuration, right? So they are the job configurations here. So you can see jobs already configured. Let me delete. So click on the create button. So what type of job you want to send, the fax job or like some different types of all the address types here. So then with what time here immediately. So every 10 minutes. So then you have to, so just to configure it here. Then every 10 minutes your job will be scheduled here. Every 10 minutes your job will be scheduled to send the emails, right? That is what you configured it here, right? This is the to send the jobs here, right? Send the jobs here which are not delivered. So this job will, so scheduled to send the messages here. Sometimes what happens when messages are created, automatically it will send to the, but sometimes it will be failed that time. So we can check, we can, so this job will automatically forward the request to the respective, so respective receivers here. So that type of configuration we have to perform in the SCOT transaction code here. SCOT, SCOT, SCOT transaction code here. So here, once you've done the all the configuration here, sir, everything is done here. So where can we check now? Where can we check now here? Right? Where can we check now? So whether emails are going or failed status or everything. Right? If you go to, so SOST is the transaction code. There we can check the, so send request. There we can check the send request. Yes, Scott is the mail configuration and everything here. Right? SOST is the, so outbound emails, out send request. Send request here. Outbound emails which are going out. That's why outbound emails checking. Outbound emails checking here. Right? Outbound emails checking here. So that is what we have to check in the here. Here you can see the outbound emails. If any mails are stuck here. So if any mails are stuck here, those emails will be displayed in the systems here. If any emails are stuck, those emails will be stuck here. Here 12 request, 12 failures here. Right? You can see 12 test requests, 12 are failure here. So why? Because there is no mailbox server. That's why SMTP node cannot be delivered here. So we don't have that type of mailbox server here. If the mailbox server is there, definitely, so we may the receiver, whoever you are sending, the receiver will receive the emails from SAP, right? So that is what it will happen here, right? But we don't have it. To check the status here, we can come to here, we can check is there any emails are failed or not. This is our one of the daily monitoring activity. Check if any outbound emails are failed in the system or not. So sometimes what happens, the emails will be failure due to some issues. Failure means the, so you raised the stock request, the request got failed in the SAP itself. the how the vendors will get informed. You are losing the stock today. You will be end. The stocks are going to zero. Then so your medical shops are going to end. Then how the so the vendors will know your medical in the your medical shop the tablets the medicines how it's required, then how can I know? So if this email goes to them, then only so they will come to know all the information, then they will fill with the stocks, right? So then you don't have much information here. They are not received. Why? Because the communication got failure here itself here by email nowadays. So we can use the WhatsApp or phone call, whatever it may be, we are using. That is fine. But the actual procedure, system procedure is this is the one we have to raise the request here. In the system, if you raise the request, that will be stored into the system level itself, right? So once you raise the stock here, that is done, then so the emails are failing here, right? Because of there is no mailbox server here. Sir, can we test whether our refresh email IDs and everything? Yes. If you go to the SBWP, every user, there is a business workplace is there here. Every user. With your own user, you have the business workspace is there here. Inbox, outbox, same as like in a Gmail, in a company, how we will get the all those things. We will get the all the information we will get here. Inbox, outbox. So the workflow, any approval emails are pending, so any group email IDs are pending here. All those things here, here you will get it out here. All the things here you will get from SAP here, right? So here, so here we can send the one new message from system to the recipients here. Suppose like so stock, the stockless. Sorry, some more like text message. We will send the some text one, right? Just write whatever you want. Just you can write it here. All the information you can properly write it here. If you want to attach any documentation, you can attach the documentation as well. So recipients, who are the recipients here, right? So who are the recipients here? Is it internet recipients or so SAP recipients here, right? SAP user IDs or internet address. Internet address means our Gmail IDs or something like that here. So both like we can write like SAP basis at gmail.com. We want to send the one text mail to them here, right? Just click on the send button here. Then whenever you click on the send button, so the message got the message went to the outbox here. The message went to the outbox here, right? See here in the outbox, you see the lot of mails are pending here. See here, sending a request here, right? So it is there. So now we can see it here. We can see it here, right? So we can see it, right? Suppose like if you go to the SOST transaction code, you will come to know whether it is failed or not. We will come to know here, right? So it's not wait. It is waiting for so job to send it here. It is waiting for job to send the emails here. It is waiting. Status is waiting here. Why? Because the job should pick up this one. The job, there is a job, SAP Connect job, it should pick up automatically. But if you want to send manually, there is an option to send request, set time here. Like, so you can also set the time here. Otherwise, you can also start the selection process here. So we can also send it here. We can also send it here. But one message sent. But it one message sent, but it not delivered. It not delivered. Why? Because one sent request, one error here. It got failure status here, right? So what happened? If you go to the message here, why? Because the message cannot be sender address invalid. Yes, true. The address, the basis.com something is right. This is the invalid address here. That's why. So it is failure here. Document is sent, but it got not delivered here, right? Is invalid. The sender, the receiver address is invalid here. So that is the reason the document got failed. If it is the correct one, immediately, definitely you will get the emails from SAP saying that the document title, something like that, you will get the mails from SAP. So it's creation of the messages and everything. We can do it from the so SBWP, right? SAP Business Workspace here. Suppose any appointments, any calendars, any receivers, if you receive any emails, any documentation, see here in your inbox also you receive the one acknowledgement. right? You received the one document you received, which means cannot send. Why? Because document got failure, right? It got failure, then you will come to know, right? You should know, you should get the acknowledgement whether that's failure or copied. Then you got the acknowledgement back to bounce back. It got bounced back here, right? One unread document, you got the bounce back here. So it's saying that, so the document status received for this document, but the messages so cannot be edited, address is invalid, something like that. So you got the message here, who created that message and everything, you got the information here, right? Which means you got the return back the one acknowledgement, you got it here, right? So this is the one. Suppose you want to send the team meeting invite to SAP. You are using the SAP for meetings and everything. Then you can create the meeting request here. You can create the meeting request here. Meeting request. So meeting request, you can create it here. Then you can send the meeting request to them here, right? That is also possible here, right? So demo timelines, right? So periodic public also that way. So public. So public level, they will come to know your calendar and everything here, right? Meeting appointment is created here. So like that, so we can send this meeting link to the recipients as well here. The period invited means it shows that it shows that you are busy with this timelines here, right? You are busy with this timelines here, right? That is what you have to we are doing here. We are busy with this timelines here, right? So we want to description modifiable by all the users, something like that. Then send it here, right? We send appointment was changed here. We send the appointment. That is fine, right? So like that, we can transfer the data, send the emails, distribution list, appointment, something like that. If you want to do it, so SBWP is the transaction code here. We can check. SOST is the transaction code to check the emails. Are there any emails are pending failure status or not? Here we can check the emails. Emails we can check it out here. Emailers, right? So that is the inbox. One more thing is here. One more thing is one more transaction code here. Inbound emails. SOIN. That is called the inbound email. There is a lot of configuration we have to perform, but for now it's not required. So first transaction code is the SOIN here to check the inbound send request here. Inbound request. So which comes up name, what happens? We will receive the emails to SAP. Means we will receive the emails to SAP. That time, so the inbound emails, right? SOIN is the transaction code. Here we can check the all the configurations and everything here. SOIN is the transaction code here. So sometimes people will complain saying that we are not receiving the emails to SAP. Emails to SAP here means your Outlook to SAP. So outbound means SAP to Outlook, reverse order. So inbound means here to here. So if you see here, there is a lot of configuration you need to perform it here. Lot of configurations we have to perform it here. There is the mails configurations here. The mailbox configuration already there here. So there is a lot settings we have to perform it here. So we have to maintain the one recipients one distribution list we have to maintain. So there are things we have to do it as part of the inbound email configuration here. Inbound emails, so there is a distribution list we have to maintain it here. Somewhere here we will maintain the parameters, all the values we have to maintain it here. But this is some kind of different configuration we have to perform for this configuration. There is a mail user, there is a SAP Connect service. There we have to maintain the one user. There one user we have to create mail sys user we have to create in the SAP SU01. There are a lot of things we have to perform this one. There is a working email address is required. So there's some configuration we have to perform. But rare cases, mainly we have to use the SOST outbound emails and SCOT configuration is the very important here. Okay, it is the SCOT configurations. Okay, so that is the one. The next one, that is one of the small topic.